Hey, my beautiful ass, special ass, magical ass goddesses. Excuse my attempt to sing, but whatever. What's up? It's your girl Kayla back with another video. I really felt the need to talk about feeling like you're off track, right? Because this is literally how I've spent the last 2 years feeling. Yeah, the last 2 years for me have kind of been just energetically and my surroundings. It's just been a hot mess. The past 2 years has also been me going through my dark night of the soul. So there's been a lot that I have been discovering about myself and confronting a lot of fears and things of that nature. But when I kind of started reflecting, as I normally tend to do, I kind of started thinking back to things and decisions that I would make way before I actually had like a full-on awakening, and realized that I was awakened before I was awakened, right? What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that there were some decisions and choices that I made that wasn't done, with any type of knowledge of higher self or anything like that, to where how would I know? Like, just how would I know, right? I'll give you a perfect example. So when I was working in social work, I worked in social work for 6.5 years. I worked with victims of domestic violence, which yeah, it was very stressful. And because it was so stressful, at one point I just started taking all my feelings out on food, right? I would see something and I would just eat it. And it was amazing to me because I wasn't even gaining weight, but I could tell that, just wait for something to fall. I could tell that my body and my organs were suffering for it, but it was just the only way I could cope with stress at that time. And so what ended up happening was that I ended up going to the hospital, and this was like 2 days before Thanksgiving, about 3 or 4 years ago. I ended up going to the hospital with liver and gallbladder failure, right? The doctors were very hesitant to do surgery to take out my gallbladder, even though they had already confirmed that it needed to be removed, but they were hesitant to do surgery. Why? Because they wanted to enjoy their Thanksgiving, which, whatever. But that gave me enough time to go home and do research, right? And I found out that for 50% of the people that had the surgery, it helped them in their symptoms. And then for 50% of the people, they just reported it not making a difference. They were still having problems eating, holding down food, all this kind of stuff, right? So I thought to myself, well, what's the point of getting the surgery if I can't get the guaranteed results that I'm looking for? So I decided not to get the surgery, and I decided to use holistic, all-natural methods, right? I completely changed my diet. I went vegan for about 6 months. I also did research on lots of different herbal remedies, and so I ended up, I believe, taking dandelion root as well because it helps with gallbladder issues. I remember when I went back to the doctor after the holidays, and I tell him that I don't want the surgery. I'm no longer interested in having the surgery. And he tells me that it is going to cause a great like disbalance in my life. He tells me, oh, there are certain things that you're never going to be able to eat again. You'll never be able to eat over, I think he told me it was like 10 calories, or not 10 calories, 10 grams of fat in a day, right? So I stuck to my diet for 6 months and, just kind of kept up with what I was eating, what would be best to repair the organs that were having these issues, right? Fast forward to now, I could literally scarf down an entire container of French fries and be perfectly fine afterwards, right? Even back then, before I had completely awakened, I had knowledge to know that there's power in herbs. It wasn't even the first time that I'd actually tried to go that route, to use herbal remedies to heal myself. So I was in my higher self before I even knew I had a higher self. You see what I mean? There are going to be times, situations, if you think long and hard enough and you go back, you're going to realize, like, wow, that actually seems like something my higher self would have known and done, but you knew to do it anyway. This journey can be sometimes so confusing. I don't know about you guys, but the energy as of lately, shit's been heavy. Really, really, really heavy, especially this first couple of days. I think we're only a couple of days in the Virgo season, but these first couple of days were really tough for me. But I also understand that that's because of the astrology of it and all those trines in my chart. Nah, it was no bueno. So, I was kind of struggling a little bit, but I knew that there is another transit today. I really can't remember. I get too busy for all that and don't get a chance to focus on it as much as I would like right now. But I know that today did start, I believe it's Venus in Libra. So as a Libra, she fucks with it. But yeah, so I feel a little bit better today. And I'm just kind of realizing that, even when I'm having, those astrological transits where it's really, 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 really hard for me to understand what I'm feeling, understand what it is I'm trying to process, and understand what it is I'm going through. And then I get super scared, like, oh my God, did I make a wrong decision? Did I go down the wrong path? Like, oh my God, I failed. Like, I suppose that's just my Leo moon wanting to be extra. But yeah, no, there is no such thing as making a wrong choice or making a wrong decision. Why? Because even if you did do that, the universe, your ancestors, your guides, your angels, you might start to stray this way and think, I'm like, no, bitch, you're supposed to be going this way and need you to make a hard left. Don't ever worry about being headed in the wrong direction, going the wrong way, doing the wrong thing. That really doesn't exist. Well, I take that back. It does, because we have free will, and instead of coming here and fulfilling your purpose and living in your mission and being of service to humanity, you could be on some fuck shit, like, going around trying to make people's lives miserable, hexing and cursing people, and, praying and waiting on their downfall. Yeah, you could do that. And that definitely would get you a different set of results than you would desire. But one decision that you make isn't going to make or break your entire journey. It really, really isn't. It's a lot more complicated than we assume to really, really, really get off your path. And when you're off your path, you know. I remember at one point, like during my dark night in the soul in particular, I was so frustrated. So frustrated. I was like, fuck this. Like, I'm tired of having to struggle. I'm tired of having, to be the nice person and always constantly fucking getting, like run over, basically. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start using people and doing this and doing all that. And so I'm like actually thinking this is a good idea. Don't judge me. Head down. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna take this idea and run with it, right? But yeah, no, my team was like, bitch, go grab them tarot cards. Let's have a talk real quick, right? And they ate my ass up and chewed my ass out. I don't even ever remember getting one of the cards. It was one of my oracle cards that came out, and it basically told me that, like, if I was doing what I was thinking of doing, it would open me up to all different types of energies that I would not be able to handle. And I was like, oh, well, damn, y'all. Like, it was disheartening because I couldn't get what I wanted. But, once again, I had to learn rejection was God's protection. That wasn't the time for me to move forward. That wasn't the time for me to focus on other things, because I still had healing work to do. They were like, no, bitch, sit, heal, and then it's time to move. So I was like, all right, I can't rush the universe. I'm on divine timing, not my timing. So, but yeah, even in that instance where I thought about going in a direction that was not on my path, the universe, my guides, my angels were all there to be like, this ain't it. This ain't it, Booski. We're going to need you to redirect your focus over here. So when you think that you're really, 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 really wanting something, and no matter how bad you want it, it just does not work out. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a home. When things don't work out, they're not working out for a reason, and that's because you're not on the path. You're not following the plan, and the universe is just giving you gentle nudges to redirect you. Sometimes if you don't listen, that gentle nudge becomes a foot in your ass. Like, bitch, no, I said go that way. You know, sometimes it takes, you know, especially what we call those tower moments, for you to really realize, like, oh, I get it now. Okay, y'all can lighten up, because that's really not what I was supposed to be doing, not where I was supposed to be going. And it's fun to have those moments, you know. Everything is about learning. Nobody, you know, is 100% right or feels that they're 100% right on this journey, but it's just you being conscious enough and tapped in enough to know when you're actually being guided, pulled, nudged, and informed that you're not going the right direction, and maybe you need to try something else. Now, what I also want to say is, I want to say this. Sometimes we feel like when we do things that are not working out, that maybe it wasn't meant for us to do, right? I also want to tell you that that is not the case either. I can't tell you how many times I got discouraged because, you know, I would watch a video of somebody, you know, who I really liked or really admired, and, you know, they would be like, oh, if you're not experiencing A, B, C, and D right now, you're on the wrong path. You've done something wrong. First of all, don't ever let anybody tell you that you've done anything wrong, because your journey is just that, your journey. Yes, there may be some things in the collective that we all experience together, but we're not all going to experience the exact same things at the exact same times. We weren't all born on the same day. We weren't all born on the same times. We don't all have the same planetary alignment. So, you know, be very, very careful, and do not let it get to you when you will hear some of these spiritual teachers telling you, like, oh, you know, if you haven't experienced this yet, you must have done something wrong, or there must be something that you're not seeing. Very rarely is that the case. Most of the time when that is happening, it's happening because it's just not your time. There may be another lesson that you have to learn. There may be an experience that you need to have that will help you later on down the line. There may be a person that you need to come in contact with first. So don't get discouraged by other people telling you or making you feel like your journey has to be similar or like theirs in order for you to feel like you're part of this collective. It's not. Rely on your intuition. If you have spirits if you have forms of divination that you prefer to practice, I would highly suggest that you do that, because me and my tarot and my oracle cards, we're like this. And I've got my ass chewed out and was told that I should be giving some of those messages as well, so I will definitely start with that soon, hopefully, because I'm really struggling right now, currently at the moment, figuring out ways to manage my energy. So yeah, I'm still trying to get the fuck up out this matrix, so it's been a little bit of a struggle. It's not been the worst thing in the world, but, you know, I'm slowly figuring it out. That's all we can do. All of us, we slowly figure it out. We take the lessons, we take the messages, and we slowly figure it out. So I just wanted to give you baddies my little word of encouragement for the day, and the little epiphanies that I get here and there, and I feel the need to share with you guys. So if you're interested in coaching services, you can email me at divinefemrising@gmail.com. Follow me on TikTok, same name. I am going to start posting on Rumble as well. If you guys haven't heard of Rumble, it's basically like a YouTube where they don't fucking censor you as much. So I'll definitely make sure I keep you guys updated on that. And yeah, I'm wishing you guys all the best. Love, light, sometimes darkness, because, you know, duality is the thing. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and until next time, bye my loves.